Hello everybody, in this live session, we're going to talk about planning your legacy. There's 5 things I want to talk about because when we leave this planet, what are we going to do? How are we going to impact the next generation? So when we talk about legacy planning, we really want to know about what do we leave behind. So the first thing that we want to talk about, and I see a lot of because I've been hanging around a lot of my wealthy friends recently, and they all talk about, John, like, there's no point in making all this money if, you can't take it with you. So you have to do something with it. All right. So when we talk about legacy planning, you want to think about, real estate. The first type of legacy you want to leave behind is some kind of real estate. By the way, if you just joined, good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are right now. Do me a favor and share this as well. Just I want a lot more people to learn some of these strategies. But the reason why real estate is so important, like, for example, when you create a will or you create a trust, right? You have to think about, okay, what am I going to put in that will and that trust? And, for me, I always want to create a lot of assets, meaning real estate and property, because property is what we call it's an income producing asset, right? It produces income over and over and over again. So this is why I want you all to start thinking about when you're planning your legacy, when you're creating something, think about, acquiring some kind of assets or some kind of physical recurring asset that produces cash flow. Because again, once you leave this world, but you leave behind an asset, that asset can now be, it can create a income for people as well. So, for the people you leave behind. So that's number one. The second type of legacy that you can start planning is cash. So a lot of people start businesses because, they want to create a lot more cash. They have a lot more cash so they can use that cash to start investing in things. I think that's great. But if you're leaving behind cash, and of course, when we talk about legacies, like when you're not here, what part of you is going to still be here? And that's what, I don't think we're all born to live forever. I think we're born to evolve, to pass on to the next generation. If you agree, give me a yes. Give me a yes if you agree with that. All right. So, you want to start building some kind of cash pot as well. So when you create this cash pot, you can start having a lot of people who are not only using that cash to do things, but you can also use that to start growing, and you can use that to maybe they want to use it to buy a property, they want to use it for investment, they want to just do something to buy for themselves. So you want to plan that. That's number 2. Number 3, and this is the most important one for me. What's more important than leaving cash behind? All right. What do you think is more important than leaving cash behind? Is leaving behind knowledge. So this is one of the reasons why, I do a lot of these live sessions with you, so I can record that journey. So, my kids and my kids' kids can, when we're not here, they can actually consume this information. We want to leave behind knowledge that can make a massive impact to somebody's life. And that's what I want for all of you. Like, imagine right now, if you could really start to, like, with the knowledge that you have, with the lessons that you learned in life, I would recommend every single day you're recording one video with a lesson that you learned. Like, start building a diary, right? So today I learned this powerful lesson, whether it's a positive lesson or a negative lesson. We want to make sure that we're leaving behind knowledge, because knowledge has power. So for me, like, people say, well, John, like, you can leave behind your assets, you can leave behind your cash, right? But the thing I want to leave behind is my knowledge. I want to leave a part of me behind that, all my books, on my online courses, on my videos here on social media. I want my kids to be able to go through the content and learn, because the knowledge that I've used to create multi-million-pound businesses is worth more money than what I leave them. So knowledge is power. How many of you agree? Give me a yes. Give me a yes. Right? Okay. Number 4, the 4th thing that you want to leave behind for planning your legacy, right, is to leave behind some kind of recurring income. So, of course, our kids and our kids' kids will have to work for money, right? So, and even though that you leave behind a lot, you would have a trust. So, your kids could only access that at the age of 18, 21, 30 years old, where it actually executes. And you would have, so what a lot of people do is they leave a will, right? And what happens with a will is, one person inherits it and they just blow all the money. That's why in the Chinese saying we have 3rd generation rich. 3rd generation rich. The 3rd generation makes it, the 2nd generation spends it, and the 3rd generation has to make it all back again. So we have to make sure that we are planning the legacy in the right way, because without a legacy, it's going to be very hard to take care of your family's generations. You see, what we want to create, and the reason why you all need to understand this, is because we don't just want to make money every single day. We want to create generational wealth, right? Everyone type in the word generational wealth, right? We've got to create generational wealth, right? And I see a lot of comments here, see a lot of love hearts as well. I appreciate you. Do make sure you share this with other people, because this is what I learned from my millionaire friends and my billionaire friends. And I know a lot of you don't get that opportunity to hang around people like that. So I wanted to, share and pass on this knowledge to our community. So if your kids are watching, so your kids are watching this in the future, when you're not here, or maybe you leave something behind, it's like leaving that message for them. So number 4 is leaving some kind of recurring income. And of course, number 5 is sentimental gifts. So I was going through all the things that I wanted to leave behind. And so, of course, I look at my watch collection. And so, probably half of that will be given to other family members. Some of that will go to charity. But there are 1 or 2 pieces that, are going to specific people. So one of the first watches I bought was at Omega. And I bought that many, many years ago. I remember the first time I bought that watch, and I still remember it. It's really heavy. It's a Seamaster. And it was like really like, it's like a brick on your arm, right? But that to me means so much. There's so much sentimental value thereof, the blood, the sweat, the tears, to be able to afford to buy a watch, that first watch. Of course, now I buy a lot of watches, many, many, many thousands. But I just want you to understand that there are personal gifts that you can pass on to other people, right? And it's not the watch that you're giving, right? It's the meaning that comes behind it. For example, when, if I have, kids, I have a son, or I like that watch is going to remind them like how hard daddy had to work, right? And mommy had to work to get you to where you are right now. You see, we also want to have that generation that doesn't just have the money and spends it. I mean, my daughter now, she's quite, I would say privileged. She gets to travel around the world, business class, first class, 5-star hotels, gets to go to school in Lamborghinis, and she doesn't really think much of it. But you look at how hard we had to work to get to where we are. This is why legacy planning is so important, because look, people ask me, John, how do you live forever? This is how you live forever. Because in the future, they're going to have all these different AI, going to take all your content, all your videos, everything. You can basically digitize your brain, and they'll be able to put that into a hologram, and then maybe one day into a robot, which is basically looks like you, but it's got your brain. So this is why when we talk about planning for legacy, you have to learn all the different aspects of creating income, creating multiple streams of income, how to package your knowledge, skills, and expertise, how to buy real estate, right? So every single year you should be buying real estate, right? Every year, at least once a year. If you buy 10 houses and you buy below market value, over time, you'll become an automatic millionaire, because property over time goes up in value. And of course now, time's a bit crazy right now. So they're great opportunities, which is why I want to come on these lives every single day to kind of share some of the things that are really working and things that do not work, things that have been proven, tried and tested. And by the way, for those of you, if you would love to learn more, a lot of people ask me if I can coach and mentor them. I have 2 different types of mentoring programs. I have a platinum mentoring program, which is between 20 and 30,000, where I work with people for a whole year, a small group of people. Or I have, and people say, John, I'm not in that position. So I wanted to create something for my community to really pass on these lessons. And so that's why I created something called the Multiple Streams of Income Club. So I'll just put this URL up. If you go to MSI, stands for Multiple Streams of Income, MSI.club, MSI.club. And I'll keep typing this in as we go through this if you haven't got it. This is a private link, by the way. Right? So you can't type it into Google, it won't come up. You need to open an address bar and type in www.msi.club. And, for me, the reason why I created it is I wanted to, every single month, run a live session, not on here, we're going to do it on Zoom, with a lot of my friends. I meet a lot of incredible people, right? I get to go to events, I fly around the world, I meet a lot of VCs, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of multimillionaires, and a lot of people in literally people in lots of different areas. And so I wanted to create this to give you the proximity, because proximity is power. If you hang around people who are rich, you're going to be rich. If you hang around people who are broke, you're going to be broke. Like all this legacy planning I'm telling you right now, right? And a lot of people, my friends say, don't have a will, have a trust, right? That one bit of advice just changed everything for me. So if you like to learn how to invest in real estate, how to create an online business, how to start a business, how to scale your business, if you want to learn how to create a personal brand, maybe you want to become an influencer. For example, on Instagram Live, you can actually do a live, and if I turned on badges, you could actually, buy a badge. So just in your live session, you can make a couple $100 just for every time you go live. So I didn't want money to stop people from doing this. So I just really want a lot of people to be able to have that access. So if you would love to join it, I made it super affordable. It's literally a price of a coffee. It's $7 a month. And the reason why I want to charge something, honestly, the $7 a month to me, it doesn't even make an impact on my bank account. But the reason why I want this for a lot of you is because I want people to put a little bit of skin in the game, because when people pay, they pay attention. When people pay, they pay attention. So I really wanted to create something that could really help a lot of you, create something incredible, but also to learn every single month. It works out like $84 for the whole year. I mean, you probably spend that on a weekend out, right? So I want you to invest this in your education. I wanted not the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer. I wanted to, really sort of, I wanted to level the playing field for everybody, right? So if you'd love to join, head over to www.msi, as in M for mother, S for sugar, I for indigo, msi.club, and you become a member. It's $7 a month, and you can cancel at any time as well. All right. I'll tell you, when it comes to creating recurring income, and during the pandemic, one of the biggest things that I thought would really help impact people's businesses is if you took your knowledge, your skills and expertise and you turn that into an online business. For example, like one of my friends was doing these Instagram lives, and he was literally recording them, and people would say, John, I'll literally take it and I would send it to people who just did not go through it, and he would charge a very small subscription of £3 per month, and he's got like 9,000 people paying £3 a month. So I think that's an incredible, incredible way to start monetizing. So we can become a creator. And this fourth, and I actually started one myself, and just on the side, because a lot of my community asked me, well, John, how do you actually create one of these memberships? How do you take it to the next level? So it's really simple. All you need to do is, there's four things. First of all, you have to find a really strong niche. So I have a friend who does one on cooking. He's got one for healthy recipes. I have one of my friends who does one for investing. I have another friend of mine that does one for, they've got a coupon code where you pay like for the loyalty program where you get discounts. I've got another friend who does a lot of stuff for like Pilates, for example, or yoga. So you could all do this. I mean, especially if you're using social media anyway, on Facebook or Instagram, Clubhouse, TikTok, Wisdom, all these different platforms, iMentors. You can literally take your knowledge, skills, and expertise and then just start monetizing it. So this is why I want you all to start learning this stuff. The second thing is you got to make sure there's lots of softwares. There's 3 softwares I recommend you use. Samcot.live. Teachable is also good as well, and also Memby.com. Right? So these are 3 softwares you can create your own membership site. The third thing you want to do, you want to have a no-brainer offer. So whatever value that you offer for your membership, for example, it's got to be like 10 times the value like what people are paying. So you've got to have what we call an MBO, a no-brainer offer. And because the last thing is you've got to be able to market and sell, right? So for example, it's what I call the 80-20 sell. So 80% of the time you're promoting, 20% of the time you are creating, right? So it's what we call the Pareto rule, 80-20, 80-20, right? So 80-20. So that's why you should always put things on like Instagram or Facebook or YouTube and all these different things, because when you're doing the 80-20 rule, it means you're always promoting your business. Everyone type in this word ABP. ABP. It stands for always be promoting. Always be promoting. You should always be promoting products. So I actually tested one of these, a couple of years ago, and in 1 year I built a site to about 12,000 members that now makes about $1 million a year passively. So because a lot of people are asking me how to do that, what I'd rather do is teach you how to do it and then partner with you. Because one of the best things that's happening right now in today's world is the growth of collaborations. Collaboration is the new domination. How many of you would love to partner with me, by the way? I'll teach you how to do it, and then you start promoting it. You start adding value to people's lives, and then once you get to a certain level, then I'll partner with you. How many of you would be up for that, by the way? Give me a yes. Give me a yes if you'd be up for that. All right. So that's why I'm about to do what I'm about to do. What I'll do is, because normally I actually run a 2-day boot camp to teach people step by step on how to do this. And we do normally charge £1,000 the ticket. But what I'll do is, if you join msi.club right now, I will give you a ticket completely free of charge. So if you go to www.msi.club, I'll give you an additional ticket, so you save £1,000. We've had a lot of people who've already paid £1,000 for that, but because the purpose is I want to teach you and I want to help you monetize, and so we can partner together. That's my selfish reason for doing this. So once you make money, then maybe you'll come and have me come in as a partner, and maybe you'll give me a part of that business. That's really what I'm looking to work towards. That's my goal. That's my 2023, 2024, 2025 goal, is to really build that up and really to really get that to the next level. So if you'd love to partner with me and you'd like me to personally train you for 2 days and show, by the way, I'll teach you everything step by step. I'll teach you how I built it. I'll literally go into the figures. Like month 1, this is how much money I was making. Month 2, this is how much money I was making. Month 3, this is how much money I was making. And I'll show you every part of the way, what worked, what didn't work, the biggest mistake. I made one big mistake when I did it as well. So I'm going to share with you, some of the step-by-step strategies and how that works. So if you would like to get mentored by multi-millionaires, successful entrepreneurs every single month, we'll do these sort of monthly trainings. Right? And they'll last about between 1 and 2 hours. We'll do like content and Q&A. And if you can't make any of those sessions, by the way, we will record it and we'll send you back a replay so you can go back through that in your own time as well. All right? So, and also if you want to get access to the 2-day membership bootcamp where we teach you how to build your own recurring income, because again, isn't that an amazing legacy? Like, let's say you got 4 kids, you build one of these for each one of your kids. And if each one can produce, say, 2,000 or 3,000 a month, by the time you leave this planet, you're gonna have a business that creates recurring income for your kids and your legacy. So this is what I want you all to learn. This is some of the things that I'm always doing. I've been doing this for the last 15, 20 years. And I just really want to pass this on. This is part of my legacy for my followers. Like, I know I've got, my real kids, but I also see you as part of my family as well, because a lot of you support all the work that I do on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and Clubhouse and YouTube. So how do you sign up for the bootcamp, if you remember? Yeah, so what you'll do is when you sign up to msi.club, you'll get an email. So check your junk folder if it's not there. And what you want to do is you'll have the first link for the monthly trainings, and then you'll have another link for the bootcamp. So just make sure you register. If you haven't, just send an email to support@jl.club. And you can, if you send me a message that I can send the link. But yeah, this is, really what I want to do for my community. So again, if you want to get trained by millionaires and successful entrepreneurs every single month in different topics like real estate, crypto, investing, trading, business advising, coaching, speaking, becoming an influencer, becoming a creator. There's all these different business models that we want to teach you. Obviously, because now it's time's going to start getting tough. So I really want everyone to get that. So if you want to do that, head over to www.msi.club. If you have any questions, by the way, you can leave a question here, or you can leave a comment. So I'm just going to answer some of these questions here. One question that we've got, if you've got any questions, little questions, just you can type it in, or I can sort of, some of you are DMing me as well, so I can see that. So the question that says, how tough is earning money as a teenager? That's a really good question. So look, it's hard when you don't know how, right? Because look, where you are to where you want to be, there's a gap. So what's the gap that you need to learn, right? What's the gap? And not only that as well, there's always 2 questions you should always ask. Number 1, how do I do it? That's the knowledge gap. And number 2, who has done it? That's number 2. And number 3 is actually the third one. Which community can I use to help support me? So for, with msi.club, you're getting the knowledge. Obviously learning from me because I've got a proven track record, but also we're going to create a community as well with all the incredible entrepreneurs that can also support one another as well. So it works for anybody. And you can just do, take little baby steps to start with. All right. So If you get any other questions, just type it, or you can actually, there's little questions that you can click that little button there and you can ask there as well. But yeah, I just think that for a lot of you, there are so many different ways that we can create this, but ultimately we have to plan the legacy. Like, what are we going to leave behind when we're not on this planet anymore? And some of you will, John, that's going to be a long way away. Like, you just never know. I mean, look at what happened in the pandemic. You know, the amount of people that I know who are no longer here, and these are people I used to know, I used to speak to on a regular basis. You know, it's you know, it's sad. But we got another question here as well. JL.club is different from MSI.club. Yes. So what is the difference between JL.club and MSI.club? For example, JL.club is all about building a personal brand, building positioning, building on social media. And MSI.club is about multiple different streams of income. Also, JL.club is $27 a month. And of course, we're looking at increasing the prices of that. But MSI.club is currently just $7 a month, and you can cancel at any time. It literally works out like 23 cents a day, right? You can't afford not to do this, because this is really a way for you to learn a lot more and to do that. So yeah, that is the big difference with that. Any other questions? I'll take one more question. You got any other questions? You can leave a question here, or you just type the question in and I can address that. But another thing that I think, you know, when it comes to legacy, is that leave a part of you behind. Leave a part of you behind. Because when you're not here, who's going to represent you? That's why you should always put stuff on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and TikTok. That's one of the reasons why I write books, right? So I don't know if any of you have read my book. All right, so I've got my book here. I'll just take this out for a second, and I'll show you this. So I wrote. How many read my book, Business Hack? Right. So do you know in the first page, right? I basically dedicate this to somebody, right? So I dedicate this to my kid, to my daughter, right? So, when my daughter is old enough to read, she can read this. And it really, honestly, the book, I don't really make that much money from selling the book. My publishers take all the money, right? But this is really my brain in one place. That's why I continue to write a lot of books. That's why I continue to create a lot of content. That's one of the reasons why I'm creating MSI.club as well. Because, my kids and my kids' kids will be able to consume that information, and that will be worth way more money than what I leave behind for them. All right? Okay, let's take another question. Okay, it's a good question. Do you have a platform or funnel that you recommend in order to launch a course and how to? Yeah, if you go to membby.com, membby.com, you can get a free trial of that. And also you can use things like ClickFunnels. You can use Teachable. I mean, there are so many different things that you can use as well. So those are pretty good. But again, we're going to be teaching, actually on the membership bootcamp, I'll be teaching you step by step on how to actually do it. So I'll build it live in front of you. And it only takes 10 to 15 minutes to build one. And you see how easy it is to implement. And the reason why I created that bootcamp is to just show people how fast it was to create recurring income. Do you know if you just get 1,000 members, if you divide that, let's do some calculation, right? We take 1,000, we're going to divide that by 365 days in a year. That means every day, you only need to get 2.7 people to enroll into your membership. So if you just get, okay, let's say 3 people, okay, at $10 a month, you're making $30 of passive income. And at some point, what's going to happen, your income's going to be going up like this. So your income goes up, and then your job income goes the other way. So eventually it crosses. And that's what we call the point of financial freedom. So financial freedom is to make enough money, because a lot of you now are trading time for money. You are working hard for money. Money's not working hard for you. So what you want to do is take your earned income, invest it into your biggest ROI bank, which is your brain, and use that brain to produce a higher return on income. So I really hope you enjoyed this live session. If you enjoyed this, then give me a yes, give me some love hearts. And I can see a lot of you joining. By the way, I apologize if I'm not responding to any of your messages. We've got a lot of messages coming, DMs coming in at the same time, and some questions coming in. So, and I've got a few other platforms running here on the sides as well, so you can see me on the other platforms. But yeah, I just want all of you to really cherish your education, cherish your time. You know, time is our biggest asset, and it's what we do with it that counts. And so every day I want to, if I can make a little impact on some of you, you know, in the time that we've been live right now, I really hope that you can take some of the wisdom that I've learned and some of the mistakes that I've made over the last 15, 20 years of being in business and creating multiple business. I've also lost millions of dollars as well. And I hope that one day I can just take that one piece of knowledge that can really make an impact to your life. So if you follow my content every day, if you watch my content every day, if you ever see any one of my posts, I'll only ask one thing. If you could do me a super big favor and just share it out to people. My job is to spread the wisdom, is to spread the love, is to not be selfish with the knowledge. Because if you have knowledge that can impact someone's life and you don't share it with them, in a way you're kind of being selfish. So, you know, for me, I always want to give as much as I can. I want to make a big impact, because when we get to the end of our life, it's not about how much money we made. It's about how many lives we changed. So I really hope that you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for giving me your time. I'm super appreciative of all of you that come on all the time. But just tell a friend about it. Share it. Take this link, share it with people. Say, look, next time John comes on, jump on a live with him, and I'll teach different strategies. I've also, if you have any content requests, send me a DM with a content request. So maybe like next time, like, oh, John, could you talk about this? Or John, could you talk more about social media? Could you talk more about real estate investing? Could you talk more about trading or NFTs or the metaverse, or talk about more about what you do on a daily basis, what your habits? I'm more than happy to share that with my community here. So thank you so much for joining me live, and I'll see you on the next one. And by the way, make sure you check out jl.club. Remember, you can cancel anytime. I promise you, it's going to be incredible. Bye for now.